Been grinding all my life, sacrifice, hustle pay the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why all my life I've been grinding all my life, all my life, been grinding all my life, sacrifice, hustle pay the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice.
Man. Happy Friday to everybody. Happy Friday to you amazing, beautiful individuals, man. I hope everybody's having an amazing, beautiful day, and still going through the grind and getting through the week. And it's the perfect song right here to just really, to describe what it is. Every day it's a grind. Every day it's a grind, and every week, you got to go out there and go get what's yours. And nothing's going to be given to you. You got to go out there and work. You got to put in the time. You got to put in the hard work and the effort. You got to put in those constant hours, the sweat, blood, and tears. So, I hope everybody's having a beautiful day. I hope everybody's ready for an amazing weekend. And there's so much to get into. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. This is the breakdown. X's and O's with Nate Ness. I'm your host, Nate Ness, and wow, it's getting to that time. Football season is just around the corner. When you just think about it, we just ended the previous season, the 2022 season. We're crowning the Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes and Coach Andy Reid on a phenomenal season and winning their second Super Bowl in the last 4 years. And wow, just to think about it, we're here now, the NFL draft. And last night, we saw the first round, and it was just an amazing part. It was just an amazing first round. You know what? It's always a blessing, being a retired vet and just, again, it's the game. It's the grind, and you put in all of these years of practicing and playing, whether it was from Pop Warner to high school, from high school to college, or if you had to go to JUCO way like I did, high school to JUCO, then from junior college and going to the 4-year university, and from the 4-year university to now. Hearing your name called. And even if you didn't hear your name called, it's not the end of the road. This is the part of the journey in itself. The grind gets even harder now. The grind gets even more meaningful and more impactful. And just, again, we're there. And you know what? Saw some great picks in the first round. And just want to go ahead and go over a quick recap, over the draft. We knew Carolina was on the clock first, and they got their quarterback. New regime there, and again, the most important the most important piece that you got to make sure you're sure of when you're starting any organization is the quarterback position. The quarterback position is he's your captain. He's the coach that's on the field. He's the guy that's going to be the face of your franchise. He's the guy that's going to lead by example, not just words, but with action more so. So again, we've seen 3 quarterbacks taken out in the first 4 picks, with C.J. Stroud being taken number 1, C.J. Stroud taken second after Bryce Young, and then Anthony Richardson. And that one with Indianapolis with the number 4 pick, that one was a weird pick or whatnot, because again, you can see that Indianapolis, they're the upside of Anthony Richardson. Nothing against him. His talent is off the charts. His numbers are off the charts. He is a physical specimen. Yet his numbers in college don't necessarily add up to his draft position, where he was picked at number 4 overall. Yet the coach sees something in him, and under the right system, you can utilize his abilities, his mobility, his big arm, his size and everything. He can be a good quarterback in this league. It's just going to take, the right system, the right coaching, and not, I don't think you need to force him into the starting lineup right then and there. He needs to learn the game and understand the game. Of course, college and NFL is a big jump. You got DNs and D linemen that are running 4.4, 4.5 40s and whatnot. You have linebackers. You have amazing and secondary individuals, safeties and corners that are just really athletic and get to it. So learning the game, because it goes that much faster. You blink and a guy can be behind you going for a 60-yard bomb. So again, didn't really necessarily agree with that pick, but I also understand that, Indianapolis, they needed them a quarterback. They, again, since Andrew Luck has retired, they have been through some quarterbacks. They've been through the Jacoby Brissetts. They've been through the Matt Ryans and whatnot, the Carson Wentz. And now they need someone to get under center to really take this team to the next level, because Indianapolis, they're a solid team. They have a good defense. They have a good running game. They have all the intangibles needed to compete in that AFC South division. They just need to go ahead and shore up their quarterback. So I understand, the pick, but not necessarily agreeing with the pick. You've seen Will Anderson. You've seen Houston trade up, to the number 3 pick and have back-to-back picks and select the best player, in my opinion, in the draft, and Will Anderson. This guy at the University of Alabama, he produced at a level that was just ridiculous. And for D'Amico Ryan, shout out to my boy, a hell of a competitor, the new head coach for the Houston Texans. For him to get C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson, it was a win. It was a win, and you see the direction and where they're going with this organization. They're really not waiting. Yes, it's a rebuild, but we rebuilding now. We're starting now to the winning formula and just a winning tradition, what he's trying to bring. So, D'Amico, you did a heck of a job day one. I love Seattle. Seattle picking at number 5 and selecting the cornerback, Devin Witherspoon from Illinois. And I think that was a hell of a pick, because you team him up with the likes of Quandre Diggs and that whole Pete Carroll, how he does with the secondary, the Legion of Boom. Again, you team him up with some guys and Jamal Adams and as a strong safety, him hopefully coming back healthy. Seattle's going to be able to compete in that NFC West. They're going to be able to compete, and they're going to be able to really make some noise. They also drafted a receiver out of Ohio State. And again, you see where, again, the time is now. With a lot of teams, the time is now. Again, you see Kansas City, winning another Super Bowl, and it fuels you. It fuels that competitiveness in you to where, okay, I want to get back to that stage. I want to be able to compete at that level, competing for championships and not just division crowns. So Seattle did a hell of a job. Arizona selecting Ohio State's left tackle, Paris Johnson Jr., who was responsible for protecting the blind side of C.J. Stroud at Ohio State. A big move, because we know that Kyler Murray, he's coming off an injury. He's been sacked the most in all of the last 2 years. He's been sacked so many times and whatnot. You want to make sure that he's comfortable in the pocket, that he feels protected and whatnot. So grabbing arguably the most athletic tackle in the draft was really, really big. But again, the draft was amazing. One of the things that I really was shocked at was that the Philadelphia Eagles, they trade up to select Jalen Carter, the really, really talented, impressive D tackle from Georgia. And if you guys can recall, Jalen Carter was actually supposed to be the number 1 overall draft pick, but some things happened, some red flags and whatnot, off the field issues and whatnot. But for Howie Roseman and Philadelphia to trade up to get this guy, you see again, Philly just came from losing the Super Bowl. They're primed for another run. They're building up for another run, especially since they've re-signed Jalen Hurts and whatnot. You see that this team, which led to the NFL in sacks last year, they are loading up, because again, offense sells tickets. Defense is what wins you championships, and they want to get back to that level. They tasted it. It left a sour taste, them losing, but they're ready to get back to it. The Atlanta Falcons, they select the top running back in the whole draft, Bijan Robinson. Now, the running back position, of course, is devalued. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how he does over there with Arthur Smith and Desmond Ridder and that team. Again, you add in a running back and whatnot, adding a different dimension and different element to your offense. That's going to be big. That's going to be very, very big in itself, and I'm excited to see how he produces in the NFL. He was a monster and a beast at Texas, so I'm going to be really, really, really rooting for him. Chicago selecting that amazing, powerful offensive tackle from Tennessee, Darnell Wright, who literally showed, really, I feel that he was drafted off of one game, and that was a game off of Alabama. Not saying that he didn't produce, because he produced at a high level. Amazing protection for Hendon Hooker. Yet what he did with the matchup with Will Anderson, man, this guy is really, really good. And again, was an amazing first round. One of the names that was not called that was shocking was former Kentucky quarterback Will Levis. And one of the things about that in that regard was that he was projected to be a top 15 pick, and there was at one time he was projected to be a top 4 pick. But he slid down all the way down to the second round. But I mean, again, you could say a lot about that, but it happens. You know, we look at Geno Smith when he came out of the draft. Geno Smith was supposed to be a top 10 draft pick, and he slid and fell all the way down to the Jets in the second round. So it happens. It's a team's need and whatnot. So, you know what, there were a lot of concerns in regards to Will Levis with accuracy, you know, him protecting the ball, because out of the quarterbacks that was picked, with the exception of Anthony Richardson, because again, he only had 13 starts. Will Levis actually threw the most interceptions, 23 over the last 2 years. You know, so again, a lot of questions arise with that. I mean, he has a great build. He has all of the physical intangibles and tools, whatnot, to be a good quarterback. Yet nobody, you know, again, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you know, Indianapolis, they all passed on him and whatnot. So, you know, hopefully, you know, Las Vegas, you know, a lot of these teams passed on him. So, you know, second round is here and it's going to be here. We're a couple hours away from the second round. So we should get, like, you know, again, it's a lot of first round talent on that board. Will Levis, you know, Joey Porter Jr., Kylie Ringo. It's a lot of first round talent that falls to the second round. So it's going to be a lot of names that's going to be called. And I'm really, really, really excited in that whole process and whatnot. But again, it's more to digest, it's more to break down. I want to say congratulations to all the guys that have been drafted and whatnot. And this evening, I want to say congratulations to you and your families. But yet, always remember this: the grind and the journey is just now beginning. So enjoy this moment, you know, with your families. This is a life-changing opportunity for you and whatnot, but don't take it for granted. You know what? Being a undrafted retired vet, playing 6 years in the NFL, and just enjoying the opportunity to compete, doing something that I love, the game of football, which again, you know, I'm passionate about. Don't take any day, the minute you walk into that facility, for granted. Always look for ways to get better. Always be the consummate pro, the consummate teammate. Be very coachable. Be very humble at heart. Because again, be hungry. Be hungry and lead by example. You know, get better and better each day. But yeah, don't let this moment slip by. But yeah, there's a lot more we're going to dive into. We got the second and third rounds happening in a couple hours to be exact. So I hope everybody has a beautiful and blessed day. Happy Friday. And this is The Breakdown. X's and O's with Nate Ness. Everybody have a great day. Thank you.